How, how has been your like you mentioned like you had been hit by something
Yeah,
before?
the concussion. Yeah, I still have concussion, and I'm not going to do a very long talk today because, like, some days are worse than others. I get a lot of vertigo,
Mm-hmm.
but I always had vertigo. I've got a tendency towards vertigo, so it's something I deal with all the time. But it's just intensified with the concussion. So
Uh,
I won't do such a long talk today because of it. Just do a short
yeah,
talk. Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Lisa,
Yes.
yeah, so I'll just go with the question then.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lisa, uh, I had been struggling with this enormous fear of self-realization for many years. The fear of the unknown, like what this, realization is going to be like suddenly. I always used to imagine like the time will disappear, space will disappear, and I don't know what will happen when the truth dawns. And then few months, about maybe a couple of months ago, like I had like one thing like saw was that like I have been always imagining that enlightenment or the self-realization is going to be some sort of an experience. And the question I asked was like, no matter what kind of experience it is, who is it? There is always going to be somebody experiencing it, that experience. So how can the experiencer be known?
Yeah.
Because no matter whatever is discovered, whatever, even if it is a spaceless, timeless, or whatever, there is something which is experiencing that, and how can that be known? And even if that is known, then who is the one who is knowing
Yeah.
that
It
so
goes
it
it goes on forever, like infinity mirrors, doesn't it? Like when you begin to ask these questions, and like from what it sounds like this is my judgment on you. I'm not saying it's like correct, but just judgment on what you're saying, is that um, is that you still believe that it's in some way mind related, like that in some way your mind is going to understand this, even though, or see this or perceive this, where it's really not a personal seeing. So right now you're perceiving the wall, and there's absolutely there's no personal awareness of it. So I'm just presuming there's a wall behind your computer. So you're perceiving what's ever behind your computer. You're focused on me. Your personal awareness is focused on me. Your brain is interpreting what I'm saying, and yet the wall behind your computer is appearing, and you are doing nothing in order for that to appear. You're not
Mm,
labeling it, and you could say that that wall is a mystery when you're not labeling it. It's just there, but there's no
mm,
effort in the perception of it. And that's the same that's happening right now. Is
mm,
there is a perception that's happening that is without any effort, and is happening instantaneously, and isn't separate from all things that are perceived. So you could say there is no perception, there is just everything, if you wanted to. But you could also say there is consciousness, but then also really understanding that consciousness isn't a position, it isn't a place in which something is looking from. It is the appearance of everything. And it's just simply an energetic shift. So it's a shift in that perception. So when you're identified, the person is focused on the mind, it's focused on thinking, it's focused on its personal world. And when that
mm,
shifts, then there is this expansiveness, this the expansion, this everythingness. And that shift is not known by someone. The brain can register it in time afterwards, but that's not what the shift is. So the brain can register it by knowing the before to after. So you know that long story about the that the prodigal son returns, like, because like when he was born a rich person, but he didn't know he was rich because he'd never experienced poorness, like, so he couldn't really appreciate it. So by, like, your brain can remember being identified to not being identified, so it can notice that difference in time, but that's not the shift. That is just a simple intellectual registration of it happening. The shift is is an energetic shift that goes back to something that's watching, that is absolutely impersonal, and it's looking out through everything as everything, and it's empty and full simultaneously, and it's unknowable. It's not known in time, but yet it's there.
Yeah, so this is what I've been struggling with, like how can it ever be known? Because whatever can be known, the question still comes that who is knowing that?
Yeah, you can't. It can't be known. It can be perceived in time, like, so you can understand it intellectually in time, but it can't be known. But yet all there is everything. So everything is appearing, but it doesn't belong to anybody knowing. But it's completely understandable. Like, you're not going to be able to get that. But what your mind's doing is your mind is breaking itself down in a way, like it keeps going further and further back. But in the end, it will stop doing that, because it's like the infinity mirrors. They go on forever. Like, who is knowing? Who is knowing?
Yeah, I mean, one thing is sure, that it cannot be something specific, because anything is specific, the same question comes again. But I mean, I feel very helpless at it.
That's a
Like
human
I
thing. That's a human thing, though. That's got nothing to do with the awakening. The helplessness is a characteristic
yes.
of the character of the identity. So that's the pattern in which your body will respond to any scenario, whether it be relationship, whether it be non-duality. It's like that we all have patterns in which we respond. So helplessness will be something which was ingrained in you from a young age, and it will be a response that will come and go throughout your life. It will be a habit of the brain. So that's nothing to do with the actual subject of non-duality.
Yes.
It's just your character's response to it, which you can adjust. You can work on that, but that's not to do with this subject. Like, I talk about adjusting the character and stuff, but I don't feel like talking about it while I have concussion. I just want to talk about non-duality.
No, I don't mean helplessness like a major helplessness, but it feels like that the ego cannot really know
Yeah, totally. Yeah, totally.
I mean in that sense, yeah.
The brain, the thoughts, the ego, the non-ego, whatever you want to call it, anything that appears cannot know this, because who would know it? So
Yes.
anything appears is being known by nothing, is appearing
So
in
what
that.
is that nothing?
Yeah, that's God. That's the X factor. That's who you are, but not on a personal level. I mean, it is who you are on a personal level too, but I mean, it's not like you as a person are God. You are God, but I mean, like, it's beyond the person. Like, it's exactly, if the person
Along with
thinks I am God.
along with everything else, yes.
Yeah.
So in your case, like how do you know? Because you cannot know, if I am right.
Yeah. I can't. The person can know things, so the character can know things. So the brain has a way of defining and labeling and understanding things. And then there is just it. So the character knows things, like it can perceive a before and after. It can understand things. You could say that the person and the understanding are kind of the same thing, like what is the person? But whatever that is, the character can understand things and comprehend things and have these experiences and be able to speak about them. But that knowing, that awakening, that shift, the non-duality is beyond the character. It's something that's happening beyond the character. And then the character, it's like Lisa's character now is interpreting it, but everything, like Lisa's character, everything, all of that is coming out of the nothingness. So you could also say it's nothing speaking, but it comes out through no, that's not the right word, through the characteristics, I keep using that word, of Lisa. It comes through the patterns of Lisa, this speaking now. It doesn't come through the speaking of Khaleesi.
Yeah. So could you suggest like what is it that I need to explore further in order to,
For the
for the
person,
one,
for that to
to
fall
to
away.
yeah, to whatever it is which is experiencing, what do I need to explore in order for that to reveal itself? I
This,
don't know,
yeah,
probably to itself.
this is like a catch-22, because it's like, how can somebody in a film, so say a character, an actor that's in a film, well, not the actor, but the character. So say like Friends, if we took Joey for instance, say if Joey wanted to see who was watching, so he's in Friends and he's on the TV screen, and then suddenly he wants to like knock on the box of the TV screen and look out to see who's watching. Like, it's an impossibility. Like, the character can't ever do that. So anything that you do in the character world can't lead you to what you already are or lead you to what's watching. However, you can do things to quieten the person down and make the person's life simpler. So it's like, to me, the wise thing to do, even though it's not your choice, it will either happen or not happen, because it's all coming from nothingness, it's all coming from God. But we speak within the dream of cause and effect. Like, to me, the wise thing to do is to present yourself to this subject and keep presenting yourself, but at the same time, like, you can make your life easier. You can make your character a lot more integrated into this life, a lot more user-friendly. And there's so much wisdom out there. Like, this, sometimes in talks I talk about chakra, but like, I know you're a fan. I think you're a fan of Osho, aren't you? No, you were a fan of Osho.
No.
Oh no, wrong person. Like, so like there's so many different teachers that talk about the personality and how to make it easier for the personality. Osho, there's loads of psychology teachers, there's loads of like breathing meditations. Wim Hof is great, and the human level, like, there's all these different techniques, yoga, that can make life better. But who is it that's going to wake up? Like, who is it now that's going to wake up?
It can't be the individual.
Yeah.
But that's what I like. I feel like, what is it that I explore now? Like, what is it that I can do? I mean, it's a paradoxical question, because in a way, yeah, it's like what
But you
you
can,
then.
but this is what the mind does, and this is the mind's favorite story. Like, what is it I can do? Like, what is it I can do? Because in a way, like, that's what we're designed to do on the human level. We're designed to do things.
I mean, when I say you chose the wrong word. I should not say do. I mean, what is it that I need to explore, maybe, in order for this whatever nothing or whatever it is which is, experiencing, in order for it, at least facilitate for it to reveal itself.
Yeah, I would just be open to this subject, and be open to the idea that this idea of what can I explore is a story that you're telling yourself, and that's not where it is. That's what your brain is producing, the next thing that you need to get.
Yeah.
Like, who is this I that needs to get somewhere? It's always so ferocious. Like, what is it I need to explore in order to get somewhere? And then you have an idea of your life, where you are, what you've been, what you're going to be, where you're going to go. Who is this I? Who's going to get there? Who needs something right now? There is the sound of the birds, the trees, the humming of the computer, this feeling of the chair, the warmth, the sound of my voice. This is where the answer is.
I mean, for the one, all of this is probably just a play. Like for the one I think doesn't even care in a way.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, I think all the issue
So
is with
it's
the
not even like it's not that cold that that one doesn't care. It's not that cold. It's just that's the caring is a story that humans make up.
yeah. I mean, caring or not caring. I mean, it is yeah. In a way, yes. The caring and not caring both are wrong to say.
Yeah. Nice. Oh, well, thank you for calling in. I really
Yeah.
enjoyed speaking with you. It's
Thank you so
lovely to
much.
hear from you.
Yeah. It was after a very long time I'm talking with
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Lovely to hear
Yeah.
from you.
Thank you. Thank you, Lisa.
Lots of love. Bye.
Yeah. Bye bye.